breaking crypto news, guys. I was sitting on my couch and I was thinking I'd make a video about what's going on with this market. I think that a lot of people are cheering for quantitative easing. Everyone's getting so excited. They're getting so excited calling for, we want quantitative easing. Everything's going to be better with quantitative easing. Everything's going to go to the moon with quantitative easing. Once the rates keep getting cut, everything's great. But I think a lot of people have not been in the trading ecosystem and investing ecosystem long enough to know what that really means. And sorry if my arm is shaking a little bit, guys. I just had a workout and trained my arms, and it was a bad day for me to choose to do a video like this, but I just had to make a video while I was on the couch and thinking about some things. Well, what is quantitative easing? And what is quantitative tightening? So right now we're in quantitative tightening. And that means that the Federal Reserve has a balance sheet. And on that balance sheet, they have stocks, equities from the traditional market. Maybe one day there might be some Bitcoin. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we're going to see a day when the Federal Reserve has Bitcoin on their balance sheet? But quantitative tightening is when they're selling that. They are selling that on the open market, and it causes price suppression. It does. It causes price suppression in the market. And quantitative easing is when they are buying the equities off the market, and it sends the price higher, guys. Now, you may say, Black Sea, why would quantitative easing be bad? Why would that be bad for this market? Well, let me bring you back to 2008. The housing crisis, the bubble that popped and the market crashed. The traditional market, everything, the economy crashed, it dumped. People lost their retirements. Well, back in 2008, the Federal Reserve was cutting rates while also quantitative easing. They switched from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing because they were cutting into weakness, because they were trying to prevent the massive bubble from popping, which, guys, unfortunately, it popped. It popped, and we saw quite a big sell-off, and it was really, really bad. Now, you may say, Black Sea, well, that was different. That was because all the mortgages were propped up on nothing. Well, then let me take you back to the dot-com bubble, okay? The same exact thing was going on. After a series of raising rates for years, the Federal Reserve started to cut rates and started quantitative easing. And what followed? A massive sell-off, the beginning of the crash of the dot-com bubble, guys, okay? And every single time the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates while starting to quantitative ease, we have seen a massive correction across the board, not in the cryptocurrency space, because the cryptocurrency space is not around. On the traditional market, guys, on the economy. And we all know what happens when the S&P 500 sells off. When the stock market is dumping, what's happening with crypto? It's dumping, guys. And now I'm not saying that the crypto bull run is over for this cycle. I'm not saying that at all. I think there's some juice left here. I really do think there's some juice left in this 4-year cycle, in this bull market. But what I am saying is I think what the catalyst is going to be for this bull market selling off, for this crash to begin, is going to be from the Federal Reserve cutting the rates and starting quantitative easing, guys. And we just saw Canada. Canada has just started quantitative easing. We just saw Japan cut interest rates. And we see everyone calling for interest rates to be cut. And everyone's calling for quantitative easing because they believe that with quantitative easing, we will see altcoin season. And there is merit to that argument. I mean, when there's quantitative easing happening, guys, that means that there's more money in circulation. There's more liquidity. Back in 2021, we had an insane altcoin season, an insane meme coin rallies. Insane. And that's because, well, there was lots of quantitative easing. There was lots of free helicopter money all around, guys. And this time is different. This time is different because we are coming out of a very restrictive time, trying to recover from that. With all the interest rate hikes, not a lot of people that don't have money are really hurting right now. And I think that back in 2021, we saw a lot of those people that originally didn't have a lot of money and capital to spend. We saw, I know, guys, I'm shaking. I'm sorry. I'm just too jacked, guys. I've been training too much. But what we saw is that they had money to spend. We saw that retail investors had money to spend. People on the sideline that don't bring in, that are on the lower end of the poverty scale or on the income scale. And this time is different. I think those people are really hurting, and it's difficult for them to be buying in this market. And I do think that there will be a very, very large crash to come, especially when the Federal Reserve starts quantitative easing. And I will say, with that massive crash, there will come a fantastic chef's kiss opportunity. If you are below the age of 60, I think it will be a fantastic opportunity. If you're older than 60, it might be a little sketchy. Because who knows how long it will take to recover. We have never seen a time when this much money was created in the past few years and where the interest rates were hiked so fast. On top of that, we've seen times when interest rates have been hiked this fast, but this is a very whipsaw-y behavior, and I do expect to see a correction in the stock market. Maybe lasts a year, maybe 2 years. But back in the dot-com bubble, we saw the lost decade. It was 10 years. 10 years, guys, before the S&P 500 broke its previous high. 10 years. 10 years. It's a long time. That's why I say if you're below the age of 60, I think it will be a fantastic opportunity if you can survive it. And I don't want to be excited about the market selling off because a lot of people, I should say the market crashing, because a lot of people will get really hurt, guys. I know that for a fact. When the economy comes down, when the stock market comes down, it'll be rough. But there will be opportunity. There's always opportunity in crisis, guys. That's what all the politicians say. Never let a good crisis go to waste. But it's the truth. It's the truth. That's how you make the most money in investing, guys, is when there is massive blood. You know, people say buy the blood in the streets, but when there's real blood in the streets, when we're talking about the overall world economy in shambles, because the U.S. leads the entire world when it comes to the economy, the stock market at least, that's what you need to buy if you can. And I do think that it will probably bring Bitcoin down significantly. It probably will shock everybody, and I think it'll be a fantastic time to buy as well. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. Do you think this is all just, it's not going to happen because the Federal Reserve knows what they're doing now? Or I'm really curious what you have to say about it, but every single time the Federal Reserve has begun quantitative easing, after consistent rate cuts, after consistent quick rate hikes, there's a big correction, guys, across the board. A big correction that lasts some time. 6 months minimum usually. I'm very curious on what you guys have to say. I'm not trying to be a big bearer of the bad news, guys, but I think there will be fantastic opportunities if you can weather the storm that is to come. And I do think that there is still time left in this bull market cycle, guys. I think you should be taking advantage of it. If you want to take advantage of it, check out in the description box below or the pinned comment down below. Sign up to Blowfin, $5,000 sign bonus as well as 15% off all trading fees. Because if you want to short this crash, I'm definitely going to try to short the top of this bull market cycle, which will be tough, but I'm sure I will get some of it. I will get some of the breakdown. But I do expect a big sell-off because of the Federal Reserve. Let me know what you guys think about that. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now, and also follow me at 333blacksea on Instagram and Twitter. I'm very active over there. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.